My name is Emily. I am 26 years old. This is my story. It is a hard story to tell. It is a secret I have kept for a long time. A secret about love. A secret about my sister. And a secret about her husband. My sister's name is Sarah. She is older than me by 3 years. We grew up together in a small, quiet town. Our house had a big garden with many flowers. Sarah and I were very close. She was my best friend. She always looked after me. She taught me how to ride a bicycle. She helped me with my schoolwork. I loved her very much. I still do. More than words can say. Sarah was beautiful. She had long, sunny hair and a kind smile. Everyone liked Sarah. She was gentle and warm. I always looked up to her. I wanted to be like her. She was my big sister. My perfect sister. One day, Sarah met a man. His name was Daniel. She told me about him. Her eyes sparkled when she spoke his name. "He's wonderful, Emily," she said. "He's so kind and funny. I think he might be the one." I was happy for her. I wanted my sister to be happy. Then I met Daniel. Sarah brought him home for dinner. I was a little nervous. What if I didn't like him? What if he wasn't good enough for Sarah? But when Daniel walked in, he smiled. It was a warm, friendly smile. He had kind eyes, just like Sarah said. He was tall. He was handsome. But more than that, he felt good. He talked to my parents easily. He asked me about my studies. He listened. Really listened. He was perfect for Sarah. Everyone thought so. My parents loved him. Our friends loved him. And I liked him too. He felt like the missing piece in our family picture. He made Sarah laugh. I had not seen her laugh so freely in a long time. He looked at her with so much love. It made my heart feel warm. Soon, Daniel asked Sarah to marry him. She said yes, of course. She was so happy. Her happiness was my happiness. I helped her plan the wedding. We chose flowers. We looked at dresses. It was a happy time, a busy time. Daniel was always around. He helped with everything. He never complained. He was patient. He was kind to me. He treated me like a little sister. He would tease me sometimes, gently. He would help me with things if I asked. If my old car made a strange noise, Daniel would look at it. "Let me check that for you, Emily," he would say. And he would fix it. He never made me feel silly for not knowing things. He called me M. Nobody else called me M. It felt special, like a friendly nickname from a new big brother. That's what he was. My big brother. That's what I told myself. That's what I believed. The wedding day was beautiful. Sarah was a stunning bride. Daniel looked so handsome in his suit. They stood together saying their vows. They looked so happy, so in love. I cried a little. Happy tears. I was so happy for them. My sister had found her perfect man. Her life was going to be perfect. After the wedding, Daniel became part of our family. Really part of it. We had Sunday dinners together. We celebrated holidays. He and Sarah bought a small house near our parents. It had a blue door. Sarah loved blue. Daniel was always there. At family gatherings, he would often talk to me, ask how I was doing. He remembered things I told him, little things, like my favorite kind of music, or a book I was reading. It made me feel seen. It made me feel important. He was just being nice, I know. He was being a good brother-in-law, a good family member. Life was good. Life was settled. Sarah was happy. Daniel was wonderful. I was happy for them. Truly. But then, slowly, something started to change inside me. A feeling. A small, quiet feeling at first. I didn't understand it. I didn't want to understand it. It was a feeling I knew I should not have. I started to notice Daniel more. Not just as Sarah's husband, not just as my brother-in-law. I noticed the way his eyes crinkled when he smiled, the way he ran his hand through his hair when he was thinking, the sound of his laugh. It was a deep, warm laugh. It made me feel something I couldn't name. I remember one afternoon. It was raining hard. I was trying to get home from my part-time job at the local library. My old car, the one Daniel often helped with, decided to stop working, right in the middle of a busy street. I was stuck. Water was leaking through the car roof. I felt scared and alone. My phone battery was low. I tried calling Sarah, but her phone went to voicemail. Didn't know what to do. I sat there feeling helpless. Tears started to fill my eyes. Then a car pulled up behind me. Someone knocked on my window. It was Daniel. He was on his way home from work. He saw my car. He saw me. "Emily, are you okay?" He shouted through the rain. He opened my car door. He had a big umbrella. He helped me out of my car. "Don't worry, Em," he said. His voice was calm. "We'll sort this out." He called a tow truck. He waited with me in his warm, dry car. He made me laugh with a silly story. He didn't make me feel bad about my old car. He just helped. When the tow truck came, he made sure everything was okay. Then he drove me home. As I got out of his car, I turned to thank him. "Thank you, Daniel," I said. "You saved me today." He smiled that kind smile. "Anytime, Em," he said. "That's what family is for. Family." Yes, that's what we were. But as I watched him drive away, my heart felt strange. It wasn't just gratitude. It was something more, something warmer, something dangerous. He was so good, so kind, so dependable. He was my sister's husband. I pushed the feeling away. "He's Sarah's husband, Emily," I told myself. "He's like your brother. Don't be silly." I tried to ignore it. But the feeling didn't go away. It stayed. A little ember glowing in my heart. More. Moments like that happened. Small moments. Insignificant moments, maybe. But they added to the feeling. One time our family went for a picnic in the park. Sarah had forgotten the blanket. Daniel laughed and said, "No problem." He took off his jacket and spread it on the grass for Sarah and me to sit on. He sat on the cool grass himself. He didn't mind. He just wanted us to be comfortable. He and I were often in team when we played family games, card games or board games. We laughed a lot. We understood each other's jokes. Sometimes our hands would touch by accident when reaching for a card. A small touch, but it sent a jolt through me, like a tiny electric shock. I would pull my hand back quickly. My face would feel hot. I hoped no one noticed. I hoped he didn't notice. Did he feel anything? I don't know. I don't think so. He was always just Daniel. Kind, friendly, loyal Daniel. Loyal to Sarah. He loved Sarah. It was so clear. He looked at her with so much adoration. He always put her first. He was the perfect husband to her, and that made my feelings even harder to bear. The guilt was terrible. Sarah was my sister, my best friend. I loved her. How could I feel this way about her husband? It felt like a betrayal, a terrible, silent betrayal. I felt so ashamed of myself. I started to avoid Daniel a little. If he was in the kitchen, I would stay in the living room. If he asked me a question, I would answer quickly and look away. I didn't want him to see what was in my eyes. I was scared he might guess my secret. But avoiding him was hard. We were family. We saw each other often, and a part of me, a bad part, didn't want to avoid him. A part of me liked being near him, liked hearing his voice, liked his kindness. This fight inside me was constant. It was exhausting. I tried to focus on other things. I worked hard at the library. I tried to meet new people. I even went on a few dates. But no one seemed interesting. No one made me feel the way Daniel did. No one had his kind eyes, his warm smile, his gentle strength. It was hopeless. My heart was stuck on the one person I could never have. Sarah sometimes noticed I was quiet. "Are you okay, Emily?" she would ask, her face full of concern. "You seem a bit down lately." I would force a smile. "I'm fine, Sarah. Just tired." I couldn't tell her the truth. Never. It would break her heart. It would destroy our family. The thought was unbearable. So I lied. I smiled. I pretended everything was normal. Living with this secret was like carrying a heavy stone in my chest. It was always there. When I woke up, when I went to sleep. It made it hard to breathe sometimes. I felt lonely. So incredibly lonely. I had no one to talk to. No one who would understand. Who could I tell? "I think I'm in love with my sister's husband." Just thinking the words made me feel sick with guilt. One evening, Sarah and Daniel invited me over for dinner. Just the three of us. Sarah cooked her special pasta. Daniel told funny stories about his work. We laughed. It almost felt like old times. Before this secret, before this ache in my heart. After dinner, Sarah went to answer a phone call. Daniel and I were left in the living room. There was soft music playing. We sat in comfortable silence for a few minutes. Then Daniel looked at me. His expression was serious, gentle. "Emily," he said, "you know you're a very special person, right?" My heart jumped. I looked at him, surprised. "What do you mean?" I asked. My voice was a whisper. "I mean," he continued, "you're kind, you're smart, you're stronger than you think. Sarah is so lucky to have you as a sister, and I'm lucky to have you as a sister-in-law, as family." His words were like a warm blanket, but also like a sharp knife. He saw me as family, a sister, and that was all. It should have been a relief. It should have made me happy. But a small, selfish part of me felt a pang of disappointment. "Thank you, Daniel," I managed to say. "That's very kind of you," he smiled. "Just telling the truth, Em." Then Sarah came back into the room. The moment passed, but his words stayed with me. "Stronger than you think." Was I strong? I didn't feel strong. I felt weak, lost, confused. The days turned into weeks, the weeks into months. My secret love for Daniel didn't fade. It grew, quietly, stubbornly, like a hidden vine wrapping itself around my heart, making it tight, making it ache. I started to have dreams about him, dreams where we were together, dreams where he looked at me the way he looked at Sarah. I would wake up from these dreams with a heavy heart. The reality was cold and hard. He was not mine. He would never be mine. I watched Sarah and Daniel together. They were happy, truly happy. They bought a dog, a little golden retriever. They named him Sunny. They were building a life, a beautiful life. And I was the outsider, the one with the dark secret, the one who wished for something impossible, something wrong. Sometimes I hated myself for these feelings. I would look in the mirror and not recognize the person staring back. Who was this girl? This girl who secretly loved her sister's husband? This was not me. I was supposed to be good, loyal, kind. But this secret felt ugly, selfish. I thought about moving away, starting a new life in a different city, far away from Daniel, far away from this temptation, this pain. Maybe if I didn't see him, the feelings would die. But the thought of leaving Sarah, my parents, my home, it was too much. I was a coward. One summer, Sarah and Daniel decided to repaint their living room. Sarah asked if I could help. I said yes, of course. I wanted to be helpful. I wanted to be a good sister. Maybe, I thought, if I act normal, I will feel normal. So I spent a Saturday at their house, painting walls. Sarah was in charge of choosing the colors. Daniel and I did most of the heavy work. Moving furniture, climbing ladders. We worked well together. We laughed. We got paint on our clothes, on our faces. It was fun, almost too fun. There was a moment. I was on a small ladder, painting a high corner. I reached too far. The ladder wobbled. I felt myself losing balance. I closed my eyes, waiting to fall, but then strong hands caught me. Daniel. He had been standing nearby. He grabbed my waist, steadying me. "Whoa there, Em! Careful," he said. His voice was close to my ear. His hands were firm on my waist. For a second, just a second, I leaned against him. I could feel the warmth of his body, his steady heartbeat. My heart was pounding like a drum. I quickly pulled away. "Oh my gosh. Thank you, Daniel. I almost fell." My face was burning. "No problem," he said, smiling. But his smile seemed a little different. Or maybe I imagined it. "Just be more careful." He let go of me. The moment was over in a flash, but it replayed in my mind, again and again. His hands on my waist, his closeness, the feeling of safety in his arms. It was dangerous. So dangerous. Because it made me want more. After that day, my struggle became even harder. The physical contact, however brief and accidental, had ignited something. The what-ifs started to creep into my mind. What if Sarah hadn't met him first? What if he wasn't married to my sister? These thoughts were poison. I tried to banish them, but they were persistent. I needed to talk to someone. I felt like I was going to explode with this secret. But who? My best friend was Sarah. I couldn't tell her. My mother? She would be horrified. She would tell me to pray, to be a good girl. I thought about seeing a therapist, a stranger. Maybe a stranger could help. But I was scared. Scared of admitting my feelings out loud. Scared of being judged, even by a professional. So, I kept it all inside. The loneliness was a heavy cloak I wore every day. Sometimes, when the pain was too much, I would go for long walks alone. I would walk for hours, trying to clear my head, trying to understand my heart. Why him? Why Daniel? There were other good men in the world. Why did my heart choose the one man I could never, ever have? The one man who belonged to my beloved sister? I realized that perhaps I loved the idea of Daniel. The idea of his kindness, his stability, his goodness. He was everything I thought a perfect man should be. And because he was unattainable, he became even more perfect in my mind. A dream, a fantasy. And Sarah, my dear sister, her happiness meant everything to me. I knew, deep down, that I could never do anything to hurt her. My love for her was stronger, much stronger than this confusing, painful attraction to her husband. This knowledge was my only anchor in the storm of my emotions. Started to pray. Not for Daniel to love me back. No. I prayed for strength. Strength to overcome these feelings. Strength to be a good sister. A good person. Strength to protect Sarah's happiness. Even if it meant my own heart had to suffer. I began to focus more on myself. Not on finding someone new, but on finding me. Emily. Who was Emily without this secret? Without this longing? I started a new hobby, photography. I bought an old camera. I walked around town, taking pictures of beautiful things. Flowers, old buildings, sunsets. It helped. It gave my mind something else to focus on, something beautiful, something pure. I also started volunteering at an animal shelter on weekends, helping abandoned cats and dogs. Their unconditional love was healing. They didn't care about my secrets. They just wanted kindness. And I had kindness to give. Slowly, very slowly, things began to shift. The ache in my heart was still there. But it wasn't so sharp, not so consuming. I still saw Daniel at family gatherings. He was still kind, still friendly. My heart still did a little flip when he smiled at me. But I learned to manage it, to keep it hidden, to remind myself, he is Sarah's husband. He is your brother. Your love for Sarah comes first. One day, Sarah announced she was pregnant. She and Daniel were going to have a baby. I was the first person she told. Her face was shining with joy, pure, unadulterated joy. Daniel stood beside her, his arm around her. He looked so proud, so happy. Seeing them like that, so full of love and hope for their future, for their child. It was a turning point for me, a clear, bright light. Any lingering foolish hope, any selfish wish I might have harbored, vanished in that moment. Their happiness was so real, so beautiful, so complete, and I knew, with absolute certainty, that I would never, ever do anything to damage it. I hugged Sarah tightly. "I'm so happy for you," I said. And for the first time in a long time, the words felt completely true, without any shadow of my own selfish desires. My love for my sister and for the new life she was bringing into the world washed over me. It was a cleansing feeling. The baby was a girl. They named her Lily. She was beautiful, perfect, a tiny miracle. Holding Lily in my arms for the first time was an amazing experience. So much love filled my heart. A different kind of love. A pure love. An aunt's love. Watching Daniel with Lily was another lesson. He was a wonderful father, so gentle, so patient, so full of love for his daughter. He looked at Lily with the same adoration he had always shown Sarah. This was his family, his life, his joy. And I was part of it, in a different way, as Aunt Emily. And that was enough. It had to be enough. My feelings for Daniel didn't just disappear overnight. That's not how hearts work, especially not stubborn hearts like mine. But they changed. They softened. The painful longing transformed into a quiet, gentle affection. An affection for a good man who was my brother-in-law, the husband of my sister, the father of my niece. I learned to accept my feelings as a part of my story, a secret chapter, a painful chapter, but also a chapter that taught me about myself, about my capacity for love, about my strength, about the importance of sacrifice for the people you truly care about. Now, years have passed. Lily is a happy, chatty little girl. Sarah and Daniel are still happy. Their love is strong. Their family is beautiful. And I am okay. Truly okay. I still live in the same town. I still work at the library. I still take photographs. I have my friends. I have my family. My life is not a grand romance, but it is my life, and it is peaceful. The secret love I had for Daniel is now a distant memory, a faint scar on my heart. It reminds me of a time when I was lost and confused, but it also reminds me that I found my way back. I chose love for my sister over my own desires. I chose integrity. I chose peace. If you are listening to this, and maybe your heart feels complicated things, maybe you have a secret that feels heavy, please know that you are not alone. It is okay to have confusing feelings. We are all human. Our hearts are complex. But what truly matters is our choices. The choices we make every day. Choose kindness. Choose integrity. Choose the path that allows you to live with yourself peacefully, even if it's the harder path, even if it means some personal pain. You are stronger than you think. You can navigate these difficult waters. You can find peace. You can protect what is precious. Your own heart will heal in time. It takes courage. It takes patience. But you can do this. You can find your way, just like I did. Keep going. Keep choosing love, the right kind of love, for yourself and for others. My name is Emily, and this was my story. Thank you for listening.